Hello, this is Craig Clafter. I'm speaking to you today from the Tower Room in the library of Dartmouth College in Hanover, New Hampshire. I've created this channel to help international students make well-informed decisions in choosing to study abroad. I hope you find this video useful. This video is about securing a student visa to study in the United States. I will discuss International Student Certificate of Finance, student employment, vaccinations, Forms I-20 and DS-2019, applying for a visa, optional practical training, maintaining status, and remaining in the U.S. after your studies. After accepting an offer of admission to an American institution of higher education, proof of ability to pay will have to be provided. Most institutions use the International Student Certification of Finances form, which requests information about and proof of funds that will be available to pay for your education. Proof consists of banker signature, bank statements, and letters of support. If support is from individuals, they will be asked to guarantee payment of a specified amount for 1 year and pledge support for additional years until your education is completed. The International Student Certification of Finances form collects information about your identity, about the funds that are available to you to support your education, funds available to your parents that may be used to support your education, and funds available from sponsors to support your education. Sponsors will be required to provide a letter of support. Here is a sample of such a letter. To whom it may concern, this letter is to verify that I, insert the name of the sponsor, am willing and capable of financially supporting, insert the relationship to you, brother, uncle, etc. Your name should be inserted here during the time, and use the pronoun appropriate for you, will be studying at, insert the name of the institution. I attach personal financial documentation to show that I have sufficient funds to support, insert your name, for a minimum of US, and insert the amount per year for the program. If you have any questions or concerns about this matter, please feel free to contact me. Insert the sponsor's telephone number and email address. Signed, sincerely. All institutions provide an estimate of the total cost of attendance, which includes tuition, fees, room, board, books, health insurance, travel, and incidentals. Deduct any scholarships awarded by the institution. If payment is to be derived from an individual's income, those who review the form will estimate what savings are reasonable given a person's income and expenditures. For example, it is unlikely that an unmarried American without children earning $50,000 per year would be able to contribute more than $15,000 per year given taxes, housing, and living expenses. The University of New Hampshire offers us a good example of what to look for. It estimates the total cost for 1 year for a non-resident student to be $52,920. Let's assume a student who received a full tuition scholarship valued at $36,278, leaving a balance owed of $16,642. That person, that sponsor, assuming that he's married and has children, would have to earn about $100,000 a year, given taxes, given living costs, in order to contribute the $16,642 needed to cover the balance of the sample student's bill. International students can work on campus or off campus with the permission of the institution's designated school official, or DSO. Employment is usually limited to 20 hours a week during term, but can be full-time during vacations. An international student who works 20 hours per week during term and full-time during vacations can make in excess of $10,000 a year. Projected student employment income cannot be relied on, however, in support of an international student certification of finances unless it is included in the institution's financial assistance award. All students attending American institutions of higher education, whether they be international or domestic, are required to be vaccinated. Typical vaccination requirements include hepatitis B, measles, mumps, and rubella, meningococcal conjugate, polio, tetanus, diphtheria, pertussis, and varicella. You must also complete a tuberculosis test and a health screening. Once the International Student Certification of Finances form is accepted to the satisfaction of the institution, a certificate of eligibility will be issued by the institution. Either Form I-20 for non-immigrant students, that is, those seeking F1 and M1 visas, or DS-2019 for exchange visitors, those students seeking a J1 visa. Record your SEVP ID number, which you will need to apply for the visa. Next, you will need to pay the I-901 Student Exchange Visitor Information System SEVP fee. No SEVP fee is due for dependent spouse or children. A receipt, however, is needed to apply for your visa. You can pay the SEVP fee online at fmjfee.com. Select Pay I-901 Fee, and then enter your SEVP ID number, your last name, your given name, and your date of birth before pressing Submit. You will then be taken to a payment page where you can use a credit card to pay the fee. To secure a student visa, you will need acceptance by a SEVP-certified institutional program, a passport valid for at least 6 months beyond the period of intended stay in the United States. That means that if you're planning to return home after the first spring semester, you need a passport that is good for 6 months after the end of the spring semester. Form I-20 or DS-2019, an I-901 SEVP fee receipt, and proof of vaccinations. Apply for an F1 visa for academic study, an M1 visa for vocational study, or a J1 visa for academic or vocational study as an exchange student or through a U.S. government program. Check with the American Embassy in your country of residence for visa application instructions and forms. Securing a visa will take time, so check on the timeline as soon as you have accepted an offer of admission. Some embassies permit making online visa appointments months in advance. International students may bring dependents, a spouse or children, with them to the United States. Notify the designated school official, DSO, at your institution of higher education that you would like to bring your dependents with you. The DSO will then issue a Form I-20 for each of your dependents. Apply for an F2, M2, or J2 visa, matching the visa you are seeking when you apply for your F1, M1, or J1 visa. Dependents are prohibited from taking up employment. Child dependents may enroll in public or private schools, K through 12, and adult dependents may enroll in SEVP-certified institutions or programs if they have completed high school. You can search for SEVP-certified institutions or programs at studyinthestates.dhs.gov/school-search. Optional practical training, or OPT, is training often paid that directly relates to a program of study. F1 visa students can be in OPT during or immediately after their program of study. Students must request approval from their DSO and file Form I-765 with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. If approved, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services will issue a Form I-766. Training cannot begin until authorization is received. Pre-completion OPT undertaken during study is limited to 20 hours per week during term, but can be full-time during breaks and annual vacations. 12 months of OPT after graduation can be sought at each degree level, for example, at the conclusion of a bachelor's degree, and then again at the conclusion of a master's degree. F1 visa students who earn a STEM degree, that is a degree in science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, may be eligible to get a 24-month OPT extension. That means that they can get 36 months of total OPT after completing their bachelor's degree. While studying in the United States, it is important to maintain your student status. You must attend and pass all your classes. Complete your program by the end date listed on your Form I-20. Take a full course of study each term. Not drop a class without first speaking with your DSO. Not be employed without permission. And not be convicted of a crime while in the United States. Students who fail to maintain status will be deported. With the exception of optional practical training, F1, M1, and J1 visa holders and their dependents must leave the United States after completion of their course of study or if they fail to maintain status. J1 visa holders on government-funded programs typically have to wait for 2 years before they can seek to immigrate to the United States. The only ways to get around this rule are if the government funding was de minimis, usually less than $100 in total, or by securing asylum. However, the standards for asylum are higher in such cases. That means it is much more difficult to get asylum if you have had a J1 visa holder 2-year rule applied to you. F1 and M1 visa holders can seek to immigrate through other programs. For example, the H-1B visa lottery, marriage, etc. If you found this video useful, please indicate that you liked it and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.